Hi, hello, how are you? Hello. So, hi, welcome back to my channel. This is my channel, Asparagus is Reading, and my name is Aspasia. If you haven't already seen the thumbnail or the title of this video, today we're going to be doing my 2022 Buzzword Reading Challenge TBR. If you don't know what the Buzzword Reading Challenge or Readathon or anything that is, this is something that was created by Books and Lala, I want to say about 2 years ago. And it started off as a readathon where Books Lala would choose a certain word or words or phrase, buzzwords, and you would have to read a book that goes with that. For example, she might say buzzword plants, and you have to pick up a book that has a plant on the cover or something to do with plants in the title, or it'd be like weather, and you have to pick up a book relating to weather on the cover or the title. So as of 2020, she has decided to make it as a year-long reading challenge instead of a monthly readathon. And so how it works is that each month there's a designated word or phrase, and you have to read the book during that month. Or if you want to do it differently, for example, if you decide to read all the books, all of the words in 1 month, you do it 2 months, or you only do 5 of the months, you only do 3 of them. If you gotta do 6 for each and then do 1 for 1, however you like to do it, completely up to you. Just made it a bit more easier for people to do instead of condensed in a smaller time frame. I fully intended on doing this back in 2021. And I didn't. I think I maybe did 1 or 2. 2021 was a very wild year, and I'm sure all of us can agree with that statement. So you know what? If I didn't do it, it's completely fine. Now 2022, on the other hand, I would really like to do it because I do really like the different buzzwords and phrases that she has come up with. However, 2022 is going to be a very busy, wild year for me. So if you didn't already know, I have talked about this previously in a YouTube video and on my Instagram. I took the fall and the summer of 2021 off from school. I am a college student. The reason for that is I wanted a break. I did do, 3-4 consecutive semesters, as in fall, summer, winter, spring. And I decided to take the summer semester off and, just take a quick little break, just kind of recharge. So summer was my break. Fall came around. I want to say about August, maybe June, July, a little bit before that. We had some medical things going on. The summer of 2021 was absolutely a hot mess. Anyways, long story short, 2021 has been absolutely rough, and I anticipate 2022 probably being the same. I do anticipate my reading progress in general is probably going to be a little slow, a little low. I read almost 300 books in 2021, and I have a feeling that 2022 is going to be a little lower just because I'm going to be a lot busier. Like I said, I'm going back to school. For me to graduate with my class, my original class is 2023, I have to take a minimum of 4 classes every spring and fall, and 2 every summer. So that will be me going back into the consecutive semesters, which I don't really want to do, but I also I don't want to graduate later. Long story short with that, I transferred schools, and then that school did not accept 4 or 5 classes, and it took the fall and summer off, so, things are a little crazy. I want to graduate, I want to be done. So if that means being miserable all 2022 and 2023 to get that piece of paper, I guess that's what we're doing. With that being said, I still want to read, and I still really want to, do book things because reading and book things are fun and they make me happy. So maybe those things will be my saving grace for the next 2 years. Alright, that's enough explanation. So Books and Law does have a little graphic for all of the different phrases and words and buzzwords that she has for the year, so I'm going to put that right over here. I might keep it up on the screen as I talk about books. If not, I'm going to try to comment it and leave the link to her YouTube and the Goodreads group thing that they have. There's a little thing that she has in Goodreads you can use. Let's get into them. I definitely have not chosen the books for this. I have looked into it and kind of had a guess, but haven't really sat down and looked. So we're going to do that together. So for January, the first buzzword is the 5 W's, which is who, what, when, where, how, why, those kind of words. I'm sure I have a few, but let's take a quick look. Alright, so for January, I have found 2 books, and those books are What Comes After by Joanne Tompkins, which is a Book of the Month pick for April 2021. And I have also found When the Stars Lead to You by Bronhe, which is an arc that I got BookCon 2019. Both of these are books that I have anticipated being 4 to 5 stars. I anticipate them being very good. I definitely think this one's going to be a bit emotional and probably a bit sentimental, maybe. Both of them have been on TBRs in the past. I just have not read them yet because I procrastinate. If I remember correctly, this is about a town where things you know, the book starts after these two teenage boys are found dead, I think, from some gun violence. And there's also a pregnant teenage girl that comes out that might have something to do with these teen boys. Again, I don't really know anything about this book. I remember when I first read it, I was really excited. So, there's that. This one I do know more about. This is about a girl and her ex-boyfriend who have broken up at some point. And now it's her senior year. She really wants to have the best senior year, try to, you know, learn to be on her own and get ready for college and just live her life. But now this ex-boyfriend, But now this ex-boyfriend has come back into the picture, and I believe he is hoping to get back into a relationship. Now she's trying to figure out if she can forgive him, if she's willing to open her heart again, if she really wants his relationship with him again, if any relationship at all. And yeah, so these are going to be my options for January. So February, our buzzword are pronouns and possessions. Don't know if I have any of those on the top of my head, but I'm gonna take a quick look. Okay, so for this one, I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna read. I did look on my books on my Kindle. I looked on my shelf. I even Googled pronouns and possessions and possessive pronouns just to make sure I know what I was looking for. Still struggling to find a book. There could be one that is like glaringly obvious staring at me in the face and I just did not see it. So if you have any recommendations, let me know. But as of right now, I don't think I have any, and we might be able to skip that month. So the next month is March, and that is for any books with locations. Now I think I have a few. Let me go grab that one. If I remember correctly, we can bend the rules a bit to what we need it to be. So I did find two books I think could work for this. And the first one is Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. So this I could use for locations because like country is a location. It's more a general location, not very specific. Another one I found is The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg, which I think can also work. Just because, like, it's a general location. Hey, let's go to the kingdom. Where's the kingdom? Hey, that's Jess's kingdom. But, you know, it doesn't really specify which kingdom, where, what. So I think these two could work for location. Yeah. So if I remember correctly, Infinite Country is about immigration of this family and also just the life of some Colombian people moving to the United States and what their life is like being in the United States and being children of immigrants. And I believe this one is about kind of like a Disney park. And are they princesses in this? I don't remember if they're actually princesses. But it's basically like a fantasy theme park and all kinds of things happen. And I believe someone ends up dying. And they think it might be one of the like android people of the theme park. Which a little crazy, and I think some of them can fall in love, which I don't think they're programmed to do. So that sounds very interesting. So here are my options for March. So for April, we have big and little. We can use any similar terms with this: small, large, giant, teeny, etc. So I do have a few, I believe maybe just one or two, and I'm gonna go grab those really quick. Alright, so for big and little, I did find one. This is a fantasy like Goose Girl retelling, and that is Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. This, I got the arc a couple months ago, and I just unfortunately never got around to it. You know, life things happen. And I did end up getting a physical copy with all these different art prints in it, and it just sounds amazing. If you know me, I'm obsessed with retellings, especially when they're in fantasy, and especially when the main character is not necessarily our hero, maybe a little anti-hero, a little bit of villain vibes in there. And I definitely think this has a little bit of both, and I'm really, really excited. Now, my nervous thing about that is she's long. She's kind of long. Again, this is for April, when I will definitely start working towards finishing up the semester, working on my last assignments, and getting ready for finals. So, I don't know. So this is about a servant, maid, lady-in-waiting, not really sure what the proper term for her is. She works for this princess. I think one day she is punished and banished or in trouble because of something she has done. I believe she stole the princess's jewels, and she does something with magic. She ends up taking the identity of the princess, but she's also, because of her actions and something she does after that, she is cursed. I believe if she does not break the curse within 2 to 3 weeks, she will turn into the jewels that she stole, and she will die. It's a whole wild thing. I have never read the Goose Girl story, so I'm not really sure, you know, how much of this is inspired by that, how much of that is in this. So I'm definitely going to have to try to make sure to do that before I read this, but this does sound really, really good, and I've heard a lot of good reviews, so I'm really excited for this. So for May, our buzzword is directions, which I am excited for because I do have a anticipated book on my shelf that I really want to get to, and that is Dark of the West by Joanna Hathaway. A direction, you can go north, east, south, west, left, right, straight, forward, backwards. So I got this one. This one could also count for September, light and dark. So if I end up not finishing this book or not reading this book at all, or if I find a different book on my Kindle or something, I could always keep this for September for light and dark. So it does have, you know, dark. I don't know what this one is about. Honestly, don't remember when I got it. I think I might have got this in a giveaway. But I have heard of some good things. I remember I posted it, I think like TikTok or something, and someone had responded and they were like, read it! And here we are months later, I haven't read it yet, so that is a contender for May with the buzzword of directions. Alright, so the buzzword for June is all, so you could do like all the tides of fate, all that's left, just as long as it has the word all. Yes, I don't have any books on my physical TBR with the word all in it. I was just about to go look for an author to see if they have the word all in their name. Try to be slick with it. Didn't find anything, so the next bet for me is to check my Kindle library and see if there's anything there. And if not, then this might be another month that I'll be able to skip and just like read whatever that month. There's also the possibility of me hauling a bunch of books sometime in 2022 and finding some books for all of these, so that's also an option as well. I am so embarrassed to say this. I almost forgot my most anticipated books for next year, and that is Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. That could be considered for June all. I guess I completely like forgot about that one just because I plan to read that within the next couple weeks, so it wouldn't really work for June, but just in case I don't read it next couple weeks, that is a contender for June as well. So for July, which I'm really excited, is a book-related words. Now, you think for readers we probably have 1 or 2 book-related books on our shelf. The book that I come up with is going to be a repeat book, which I guess is good if I end up not reading it in the first month. I could read it the next month, or if I don't finish it, I could read it the following month, whoever. And that is, again, My Story. I picked this one up for this book-related buzzword just because stories tend to be written, and those are what are published into novels/books and that are read. A book is a story, is it not? So technically, this could work for that. For August is items. Now this one seemed like an easier thing, and I was really excited for this one because that's like my birthday month, so maybe I could do like 3 or 4. But I struggled to find things that work for items. A lot of things I felt like were on my shelf. I wasn't really sure if I would consider an item. Some of them were more like a place or an event or something like that. So the 2 that I did find that were items is A Blade So Black, and that is because a blade is an item that you can hold and carry. Also, she's holding it in her hand. There's also some flowers in there that I think you can consider an item if you want. This follows a girl. So she basically fights these creatures called nightmares. And she kind of has to save the world. But she's also doing her typical normal life, such as curfew and relationships and school and things like that. I heard it's really good. I think it's Alice in Wonderland retelling. A Black POC main character. That's all I know. I know my descriptions are horrible, but I tend to pick up a book the moment I hear about it and then don't read it and forget what it's about. So, and the last book that I have for items is The Bone Collector, which is perfect because you can collect items. And this particular collector collects bones, which is probably not the greatest item to collect, but it fits for the buzzword, so it's great for me. She's thick. I mean, it is a mass market paperback, but as usual, I procrastinate and haven't got around to it, so maybe I will next August. Alright, so for September, that's probably going to be another repeat book, unless I find a different book. Like I said earlier, some of these books can count for more than one category, so if I don't read it the first month, I can read it for a different month. If I don't finish it the first month, I can read it for a different month, etc. And so the repeat book is Dark of the West. So this for September is anything light and dark. If I really want to, I could take it literally and just use the word dark in the title. Or I could take a book with a contrasting color, so for example, black and white, because white is a very light color and black is a very dark color. So if I end up reading this for May, which is directions, I could always pick up a book with contrasting colors for the light and dark. October is Creatures and Animals, and this one I'm also really excited for because I think this could be done really well with a spooky fall October theme. If you really want to, it could be something with creatures and monsters and things, and kind of like give yourself into those spooky vibes. I don't think I have anything like that. I mean, I do have two, but one of them I'm not entirely sure if I would call it a creature or not, because I'm not really sure if it is a creature or if it's a machine or anything like that. I need to look more into that. And that book is Gear Breakers. This is a mecha? Yeah, I think it's called a mecha. It kind of reminds me of Pacific Rim and Transformers and things like that. But the thing is, like, I don't know if it's its own living being. Like, it makes up its own mind, it speaks its own thing, or if it's controlled by somebody, or like a little bit of both. So I'm not really sure if I would call this a creature or an animal just yet, but I think this could work if it's its own being thing. But if that ends up not working, or if I read it early in the year, I do have a second option, and that is Starfish, going more for the animal route. On this cover, we do have a lot of different sea animals and sea creatures, as sometimes they're being called. But the title is Starfish, so I think that could work. I'm not really sure if the fish theme really works into the book. I'm not sure how it does. As far as I've been told, I haven't heard anything about fish relating to the story, but I guess I have to read it to find out. So November is ing, so any words ending with ing, so ing, it can be being, seeing, dancing, lying, ringing.
The sash ringing, the flash singing, the bash pinging,
the hash slinging slasher.
Yeah, so the only book I have on my shelf that I can find, at least the first one that I saw, is The Lightning Thief. Surprise, surprise, I have yet to read any of the books in the Rick Riordan, what is this called? Olympus series. To be honest, I don't think I've read anything by Rick Riordan. I've been meaning to because I really love mythology, I really love retellings, and I've really enjoyed what I've heard about Rick Riordan and what I've seen. I just never got around to picking the books up. Now there's like 5 million series by him. Now he has Rick Riordan Presents. There's a Disney Plus show coming out. There's what, 3 movies? Like, I am behind, but hopefully I can finally catch up and get to these. I have heard that, you know, being older, a lot of people tend to really enjoy them. They tend to read them very quickly and fight through them, and then they end up reading like the entirety of this series and then another one. I heard that they're very accessible and a lot of fun and very easily relatable. I heard that there's a lot of representation in these books with, you know, mental illnesses and disorders, disabilities, sexualities, identities, and genders, and all of that. So I'm really excited to get into it. I do believe this one is the first series he's written, and there's more. And I've heard that these tend to be YA, or no, middle grade, borderline YA. And they have, some of them have a bit more different age range. I think some a little bit younger and some are older, and there's some they get older as the series goes. So yeah, I'm really hoping to really like this one. I think this will be a really good start to get into the universe. This is my pick for November, using any words ending with ing. And on to the final month, which is December, which is wild because, like, in a year, I could be reading the books for this. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, it's December right now, and I'm already making plans for next December. I don't even know. Like, 2021 has gone by so quickly. Like, I feel like December started yesterday, and Christmas is already on Saturday. And New Year's is what? Also a Saturday, I believe. It's like, how in the world are we going so quickly? Like, I need you to slow down. But I also kind of wish 2022 goes as fast, because it's not going to be fun. You know what I mean? So, for December, the buzzword is anything with numbers. And so for this one, I think I'm going to bend the rules a little bit because I wanted to make it work for me. And so I found a couple of options for this. So the first one being is Dark Secrets 1, which is basically the book 1 / collection 1 of the series. I do believe this author, Elizabeth Chandler, has written a bunch of books, and then some of them are put into bind-ups, so oftentimes they'll have like a general title 1, because it's the first bind-up, or it'll be book 1 because it's the first book in that, so like Legacy of Lies. It's up there somewhere, but I do believe I have another one by Elizabeth Chandler, and I've been wanting to finish the backlist because I really enjoyed these when I was in middle school, and in high school I just never ever finished them because I always found it hard to find. I managed to find this one. What was that? Goodwill, I think? I was shooketh to see this. I definitely anticipate getting to this very quickly because I remember always flying through them very quickly. Don't remember which one this is about. I think this has to do with, two of them have to do with family relationships. I think one of them has to do with someone that has died many years ago, and now that this particular family member has arrived, they are now getting a lot of memories and a lot of events related to that. I guess I'm trying to figure out the mystery of how their person died. And the first one I think has to do with some kind of love triangle with some fatal consequences. So, there's that. I might have read this one already. Again, it's been years, so I honestly can't remember, but that is an option for numbers. Another one that I have for options for numbers is The Infinite Sea. Infinite can kind of work with numbers because it kind of be like endless numbers. You could never stop counting. But I was playing more with the second book because it is the second book in the series, but it's also the fifth wave. There's a number 5 up there. Also has the number 1 on the bottom because it says New York Times bestselling series. So that could work. I've been wanting to finish the series and I just haven't done it yet. I have a feeling I'm gonna rate this like 2 stars. I don't know, it's just like this just something about this is just giving me 2-star energy and I am scared. So there's that. And the other option I was thinking of doing is, again, bending the rules a little bit since it has to do with numbers. I was gonna try to read a book as a part of a series, so it'd be like book 1 in this, book 2, or the 3rd book in this. So this one doesn't work for that. I mean, it is book 1, but it does not say book 1 of that on here. Only thing it does say is number 1 New York Times bestselling author, Margaret Stoll. So if I wanted to, number 1's on there. But I was saying, like, for example, like I could read a sequel or 3rd book as long as it mentions it on cover. So yeah, so I do have a couple options here. Number seems to be one of the easier buzzwords for this. I think I should be pretty okay on that note. With that being said, I think that is my very general, very loose, subject to change TBR for the 2022 Buzzword Reading Challenge. If you are participating in this challenge or would like to, let me know what books you're reading down below. Let me know if you have any suggestions for me, or if you notice any books on my shelf that I'm like, la la, or if you see something on my Goodreads shelf that you think I should read instead, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on what books I should read. I have mentioned quite a bit, so like if you have a certain book that you think I should read, for example, definitely read this over this. Let me know. I'm curious. I have had a lot of books on my shelf over the past couple of years. I've been saying I'll read them, and I haven't. So, yeah. I'm really hoping to get some reading done next year, despite it being a busy, possibly challenging, possibly exhausting year. But I think I can manage at least some kind of reading, and if that counts for a reading challenge, then it's a win for me. Alright, so that being said, that is everything that I have for this video today. I don't think there's anything else I need to mention. Just a quick reminder, I will have all the links of everything linked down below. I'll also try to put it in the comments if you just can't do the description, you just don't check the description. I'll try to have it in the comments as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are. And I'll see you in another video soon.